So Kyle Fuller is now reunited with Vic Fangio. He's going to Denver, and I absolutely love this signing. I really do. I think this is a great signing. It's a 1 year, $9.5 million. So getting a good amount, but also it's no risk. I mean, if it doesn't work out, well then whatever. You're out of the contract next year anyways. Getting a bit up there in age. He actually in a few days is going to turn 30. So there is that, but usually you can still play at 30, and especially his play style, I think he'll still be able to play at an older age. So let's talk about his play style. We're going to start off with this play, and what's going to happen is that first I'm going to show some plays from last year, 2020. I'm going to eventually get into some plays from 2018 when he had his best season, which was also when he was getting coached by Vic Fangio. So this is man coverage. You see the route that he's going up against. It's a little curl route. So nothing too fancy. He's just going to try and run in and eventually make the play. But you do notice how far back Fuller is. Fuller is playing pretty far away here. He's playing pretty close to the first down marker. It's a first down and 10. And, playing about 8 yards, 9 yards off. So that's what's happening. And watch, as the second that this New York player is going to start to cut, one thing is Fuller just reads this really well. But the other thing is that Fuller is incredible at breaking in. He's so good at that. Very similar to a Richard Sherman type, where he can just come in and make these types of plays. Watch him break in, and he eventually knocks that one away. Really good ball skills and can move in like that. And that's kind of what I feel like Chicago has done with him and taken advantage with him, is stuff like that. Like this one's another one where it's going to be a pretty similar concept, and it's the kind of thing that he is just really good at, is, even with one safety deep, of being able to be in this type of position. This time it's going to be a sort of a slant route, and you see where he is. This should be a disaster, right? This should be the perfect route against this type of coverage, and he should be in real trouble because over the middle, there's only one guy who can really help him out. Like watch. So again, right when this play starts, Fuller is just now making this read, and look at how far away he is. I mean, he's really far away. Maybe you could argue that Fuller is, he should be closer. This is bad positioning, whatever. But the reason why he likes to give himself so much space, or I would assume, is because he knows he can come in and make these types of plays. And that's what he's kind of going to do. He comes in, is able to help break it up. There's still a chance that one could have been caught. You could, blame the receiver if you want. But you have to give credit to Fuller for being able to break in and cover so much ground to at least disrupt the play if he didn't outright, knock it down. There's also one like this. He's going to be going up one-on-one against Calvin Ridley right there. So one-on-one matchup, Ridley running a route towards the sideline. These can absolutely work against this type of coverage. Watch, Matt Ryan takes the snap, and you notice that Ridley is starting to get to the outside. But what's really helpful here for Atlanta is that Ridley can basically run wherever he wants. He can go as far towards the sideline as he wants and as far back as long as he's still in the end zone. He has plenty of room here, and even if he steps out of the end zone, he could always fall back in it. So there's a lot more room for Ridley to operate here, and Fuller is going to have to try and cut it off, but again, Ridley can continue running further deep or further back. That's what Ridley does, but look at Fuller, again, staying there, playing that tight coverage and knocking it away. It's the good ball skills. He can break in really well, and he's just a difficult guy to deal with, quite frankly, in these types of situations. Now, there's other situations he might not be as good at, but what can really maximize his potential is putting him in these situations constantly. So now let's go over to 2018. 2018 with Vic Fangio, he was incredible. He had 7 interceptions that year, gave up a passer rating of 69.2, only 3 penalties, 13 pass breakups. He was just insane. This play is a good example of a lot of what he was able to do. This is going to be zone coverage. He's covering the one that I, put in white right there, and you see that there's a Miami player who's running an out route kind of just underneath Fuller's coverage, and this is very interesting what happens. So watch how once this play starts, you notice the second that Fuller sees there's a wide receiver who's starting to cut to the sideline, Fuller's also going to break in. Why is he doing this? Well, for a couple of reasons. One, as I said, he's good at closing that ground, making the play, all of that stuff. But he also knows that he has Eddie Jackson behind him. And this is kind of how that defense was able to get just so many big splash plays. Remember, they went 12-4 that year, largely due to their defense being able to not just get stops, but get turnovers. So Fuller does, he takes the chance, runs in, and gets the interception, and it's a big interception. Now, you might be saying, well, wait a second, isn't that risky? I mean, what if it wasn't an out route? What if it was, a double move? He would have been completely screwed. But no, he wouldn't have, because like I said, he had Eddie Jackson behind him. So he had sort of the luxury of being able to play more aggressive, and that's what Vic Fangio likes. He likes his players to play more aggressive, and Fuller perfectly fits that. And in Denver, you're going to have good safeties behind you. So we could see, a Fuller, Vic Fangio, good safety, all of it kind of working together type thing again. And he also just had stuff like this, where this isn't necessarily the situation, but this, to me, it shows the mindset that Fangio sort of had with Fuller and what they kind of did together, because I see this way more with Fuller in 2018 than I did last year. It's going to be man coverage, and Fuller is covering Odell Beckham Jr. one-on-one. So, pretty easy task there. Not really. I'm joking. That's really difficult. But watch how, again, once this play starts, Fuller, he's looking at the quarterback. He's going for the quarterback and trying to read the eyes there. He knows he has safety help behind him, so he's not concerned. And again, you have Kareem Jackson, you have Justin Simmons in Denver. This is something we could see again, where if he gets it wrong and it's a go route, well then, okay, now the safety just picks up the go route. You're fine. And if you get it right, then what can happen? Well, this. Fuller is able to just step in front, and he gets an interception right there, simply just from reading the quarterback. Again, that it's that aggressive style and knowing that the safeties have your back behind you and taking chances. If you're wrong, well, it still won't be a big deal. But if you're right, you can get interceptions. You can get pick sixes. So it's part of why I've always been a big Vic Fangio fan, even if his head coaching stint in Denver up until this point has been disappointing. And getting, one of the perfect corners to fit this system, I think. He does like to play cover 3, which Fuller can do. He likes to have guys play aggressive, which Fuller can do. It's just such a perfect system fit. It was a match made in heaven in Chicago, so it makes total sense that both guys would kind of want a reunion. The Denver defense, Denver secondary looking really scary next year. Granted, I feel like every year Denver is going to take the next step, and they still have had a hard time. I think they need a quarterback, in my opinion. But you know what? There's a lot that they can do well on defense, and this is a huge addition. That's what I think. What do you guys think? Let me know in the comments below. Always love hearing from you. And of course, as always, thanks for watching.